Okay, awesome. So we're recording now. So this is the talk that I did at One Tree. So it was called Going Big in a Small Town. So I chose that topic, and I was actually talking to my upline about what I could actually talk about. And she spoke about that one thing she was impressed with is how I've built my business in a small town. And a lot of people see that as a bit of a block for them if they come from a small town, that perhaps it can be quite difficult to build a very successful doTERRA business if you come from a little small town. So that's what I'm going to talk about. So I'm going to put my presentation up, and as soon as I enlarge this, unfortunately I won't be able to see any comments, but I will go back to some comments at the end and answer any questions. So if you've got some questions, feel free to ask along the way. Okay, so going big in a small town. So this is actually my house there. I live in a small town with a population of around 700, so really, really small town. Please excuse my cough, it's just one of those annoying ones that won't go away. Yeah, so there's 700 population in my small town, but nearby we do have a larger town with around a population of 15,000 people. So as a lot of you will know, that I'm a Blue Diamond leader, and just behind my house over here, I'm actually at my sister's house now, but over behind here is where my sister lives, and she's actually a diamond leader in the company. And so to the left here is my sister, a diamond leader, and actually to the right, another neighbour that I have is Linda, and she's a brand new silver leader in our company, and she's actually only been with doTERRA for a few months now, probably about 4 or 5 months maybe, and she's got some really, really big goals, and I know that she'll be reaching those other leadership ranks as well as time goes on. So since I've been doing doTERRA, which is just a little bit over 2 years, I started launching my business in my small town, and a lot of people obviously love these beautiful oils that we've got. But there's been a lot of people along the way that have been really interested in doing a doTERRA business that have said to me, Kim, you've already enrolled everybody. It's a small town. I don't think there's anybody left. And I sort of want to debunk some of those myths. And as I said, Linda, she's only been just brand new, and she's been able to reach those leadership ranks. And I think sometimes what we tell ourselves is what we're going to attract into our lives and into our businesses. So I'm here to debunk some of those myths that you can't go big in a really small town. So this is one of my favorite quotes, and I really find this to be true. If you believe it will work out, you'll see opportunities. If you believe it won't, you'll see obstacles. So I find that those people that come to me and say, Kim, you've already enrolled everybody, there's no one left, I don't think I can do this, then they are the people that I find will see lots of obstacles and will probably attract those people that are already enrolled. Whereas people like my next door neighbour, who lives right next door to a Blue Diamond and a Diamond leader, who probably would have a good reason to be quite worried about the opportunity for her, she could see that there's still an opportunity there. So she's seen those opportunities and she's having lots of success, and I know that success will continue for her. So as you can see, two people in the same town with completely different mindsets are having completely different results. So if you believe that there's opportunity for you, you will see that. But if you don't believe it and you think that there's all these things in your way, then I believe truly that that's what you're going to attract into your business. So here are some obstacles that people often say they have come across if they live in a small town. So these are the ones that I often have people come to me with. A lot of people will say to me, especially now in my small town, a lot of people say that the market is saturated and everybody's already signed up. And even people in other, like I've even heard people say that in big cities, they say that the market's saturated, everybody knows about doTERRA. And I'll go through some stats with you soon, but I do know that less than 1% of the Australian population has a wholesale account. So we're not even close to being saturated. And that's completely not true, basically. So a lot of people always say, oh, not always, but some people in a small town will say there's not enough people. So they might feel that living in their small town, they're limited by the amount of people that are in their town. And I know that when I started my business, I had some really big goals, and I really could see that one day I could possibly be a diamond leader or a blue diamond leader. And I never once thought that I was going to be growing my business in my local town only. I thought a lot bigger than that. I thought about outside my local town. I thought about the whole state that I live in. I actually thought countrywide. I remember early on thinking, oh, wouldn't it be amazing if I could have team members in every state of Australia so I could do some travelling and go and meet up with them, which I have been able to do. And I haven't personally enrolled all those people around Australia. My team has continued to grow, and they've been able to enroll people around the country. And even thinking globally, my business has now grown globally from people knowing other people. So don't think that because you live in a small town that is what you're limited to. So some people say that in small towns, people are not open-minded. So I've obviously found that not to be true. I've found that a lot of people are really open to natural forms of healthcare, and people obviously love these oils just like you do. There obviously are people that are closed-minded with different things, and I guess they're just not ready at this point, and it's not our job to try and convince people. It's up to us to be able to share with people that are interested in hearing it. So perhaps there are people that are closed-minded, but they're not our people. Some people in small towns even say, so obviously outside my town, in different small towns, they might say, but nobody knows about doTERRA yet. And for me, I see that as a massive opportunity for people to bring the products into their town. But some people see that as a bit of a barrier, and that people will be unsure about it. But again, it's about your mindset and the way that you think about it, and just looking at that as a massive opportunity. And when we think about the first people that brought doTERRA into our country, we think that probably would have been really quite difficult for them with no one knowing anything about doTERRA, but obviously they saw it as a massive opportunity for them. Okay. Could everyone please just check that they're muted? I can hear some people in the background there. Okay, so opportunities. There are plenty of opportunities in small towns. So I have found that there has been a lot of community support by growing my business in a small town. I've spent most of my life in my small town. I grew up in this area, went to Melbourne for a couple of years, but have spent pretty much my whole life in around this area, and have supported a lot of small businesses along my time. So I found that the community has been really supportive of me. And when I've spoken about my... I might just mute everyone. Sorry guys, I can hear some dogs in the background. Okay. Yeah, so I've just found that there's been a lot of community support around here. I found that the word of mouth has been really, really helpful. So a lot of people, as you know, in small towns like to talk and sometimes like to have a bit of a gossip. And I found that I've been able to use that to my advantage, and that people have been telling everybody what I've been up to, and telling people about their experiences with the oils, and people have come back to me. So I've seen that as a really good opportunity when people know other people and have been able to tell them about this business that's been created and how the oils have worked for them. So a lot of the local businesses in my community I've approached, and because I've got relationships with them, I've been able to ask them if they'd be interested in me holding workshops there. So in the past, I've held workshops in my local yoga studio, my health food store, at like the beauty salons, and different places have been really supportive with me to grow my business. A lot of people, I've also had experiences of team members say that they're new to their small little town and they don't know anybody. So if you're thinking right now that the businesses aren't supporting me and I don't have that community networks at the moment, living in a new town and starting a doTERRA business is the perfect way to meet new people. It's a really great way to get out of your comfort zone and start getting involved in different community groups and getting to know people, and going to their homes to do workshops and just growing some new friends. So as I said, you get to grow those local networks. So now that I've been doing my business for a while now, we've got a beautiful little community of people that love doTERRA oils, and we get together quite regularly and talk about our businesses and also do regular classes. And we've really built a beautiful little wellness community of people that love the essential oils. There's always the opportunity to go online. So we are not, with the internet, we have access to people all across the country and all across the globe, basically. So if you want to extend out of your networks, then there is always the opportunity to go online. And not everybody who's successful needs to have a big social media following or anything like that. I know, for instance, my sister, who's a diamond leader, she doesn't do any social media, but I guess if that's something you wanted to look into, that opportunity is always there as well. Okay, so I just wanted to talk about the, the benefits of having a local team. So I always encourage, when I am mentoring somebody, to really think locally to start with. So I find that starting locally is easily duplicated. So it's really easy to start with just inviting a few of your close friends or family around to your home, and doing a basic wellness class and telling them about the oils. So that is something that is easily duplicated. I can teach my team to do that, and then they can teach their teams to do that as well. Because we have a really big local team, we have regular coffee and biz chat. So we have them on a Friday morning. So we just had one this morning actually, and we all caught up and did a bit of team training and spoke about our businesses, and it's a really beautiful way to build those connections. And for anyone that has enrolled through somebody that lives quite far away, it's a really great way for you to start building your own little network and little team. So for me, I enrolled through somebody from the Gold Coast. I'm from Gippsland, which is south of Melbourne. So obviously I couldn't have those regular coffee chats and connections right from the start. So that's why it was really important for me to build my own local type team and local network. So if you don't have the advantage of being near your upline like I didn't, then perhaps you could start your own little network. So yeah, we can have regular trainings and events locally, and it's a beautiful way to create relationships and connections. So since I've been doing doTERRA, I've made some really great friendships and connections. A lot of the people that come each week to my house I didn't know before doTERRA, and I've built some really beautiful friendships through that. Okay, so I want you to think to yourself, are you thinking locally? So are you restricting yourself to just your local area, or are you thinking globally? So my town that I live in is Longford. And as I said, I think I said 700, but it's actually 900 population. So 900 people in Longford. And as I said, we've got a few leaders doing doTERRA in Longford, but our aim is not just to enrol the whole of Longford. And when we think about the population of Sales, so that's our nearby town, has a population of 14,000. When I think about my whole organisation at the moment, my whole organisation has 5,000 members in it. And I would say less than 1,000 of them would be from my local area. So the population of Sales, 14,000, and less than 1,000 of those would be in my organisation. So you can see there that there is still a lot of people without wholesale accounts, and even thinking outside our town, our whole shire, the population is 41,000. And then if we're thinking even bigger for our state, and all you need to do is get in the car and drive a few hours, and you've got access to our whole state, which has 5.8 million people that could potentially get a doTERRA wholesale account. And let's think even bigger for the whole Australian population. And as I said, less than 1% of the Australian population has a wholesale account. So still so much growth to be done in Australia. There is still so much potential for such a young company. It's still quite a young company in Australia, and when I see the growth that's happened over in the US, and I'm just mind blown by how quickly doTERRA is growing here in Australia, but still just so much potential. And we want to get these oils in as many homes as possible, and there's still plenty of opportunity for everybody. And let's think worldwide as well. Okay, so this is also a great quote that I love. So whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right. So again, this is the mindset stuff. So if you think you can achieve in this business, which is, I see a lot of people come in wanting to partner with me in this business and want to mentor with me. And from the start, they're like, yep, I want to go for it. I really love these oils. I love these products. I love everything this company stands for, and I really want to give it a good go. And they're the people that I see time after time really succeeding in this business. And then I see other people that doubt themselves and think that they can't do it, and find all these reasons why they can't do it. And they're generally going to be right. And I know that everybody at times has these doubts, but we just want to think of all the opportunities that we have rather than the obstacles, and try and keep that in our mind as much as possible. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. That was my presentation. It was just a quick presentation that I recently did at the One Tree. And I'd really love for any questions that you might have. I'd be happy to answer any of your questions. So feel free to pop them on in the chat down there. Okay, yeah, no worries, Kira. I've recorded this, so we will be able to share it with other people. And yeah, I'm happy for you guys to share it with your teams. So I'll stop recording now and just answer some of these questions.